Good morning, I'm Viti. This is La Cocina de la Abuela, and today we're making 3 desserts prepared with yogurt and no added sugars. Spectacular, healthy, super tasty. Let me know in the comments which of the 3 you like the most, and at the end of the video I'll tell you which one is my favorite. Let's get started. First, a cake that only uses eggs, yogurt, and cornstarch. Spectacular and super creamy. We'll need yogurt, 4 containers, about 500 grams. 3 eggs, large size L eggs, and 40 grams of cornstarch. And that's it, just 3. You can see that since I used Greek yogurt, I hardly have any lumps. If you had used regular plain yogurt, you would have a lot more lumps. So to get rid of them completely, we're gonna beat it. By hand. Machine. If you have an electric mixer like this, it'll take you just a minute. That's how we want it, no lumps. Perfect. Let's continue with the eggs. We're gonna add them one by one. I crack them into a small cup because I'm afraid of breaking the shell over this bowl and having some shell fall into the mixture, which I don't want to happen. So I crack them one by one into a small cup and avoid that problem. Once it's well incorporated, we add the next one. We beat again until it's incorporated. You'll see how the color of the mixture changes to a much nicer yellow. And finally, the 3rd egg goes in, we beat it, and make sure it's well incorporated. There we go, I've got it now. You see, no lumps, and with the eggs well mixed in, like this. Let's go. Let's make these little foamy bubbles, which will later give the mixture fluffiness and creaminess. See? Next, the cornstarch. Regular old cornstarch. Cornstarch, a fine corn flour, which helps us avoid many food intolerances. It's super trendy. Let's mix it well. And here we really have to beat it. For at least a minute. 1 minute, a minute and a half with an electric mixer. By hand, it'll take you a bit longer, 3 or 4 minutes. We need the cornstarch to be fully incorporated and not have any lumps left. If you don't have cornstarch, which is a cornstarch, don't worry because you can use all-purpose wheat flour. Just make sure to sift it very well, and you'll also end up with a delicious dessert. And let's get the oven ready. We need to preheat it to 180 degrees with heat from both the top and bottom. Just a couple of minutes of waiting. And in the meantime, let's get the pan ready. My pan is 18 centimeters across. And in height, it's about 3 fingers tall. Let's grease it well with butter. That way, the cake won't stick. It will come out of the mold much easier. And it hardly takes any work. So, easy, just keep going. Keep at it. Until the entire inside of this mold shines as much as this one. Alright, I have it ready now. So what we're going to do is add our mixture here. I'm going to use a ladle to pour it so nothing splashes at all. As you can see, into the ladle and onto the floor. This way, we cut the height from which the mixture falls in half. Here we go. Don't fill the pan all the way. The amounts are for a pan about this size, because it will rise while baking, although it will go back down later. We put it in the oven. Super easy, 180 degrees on conventional bake, and 40 minutes of baking. Here it's already been in for about 10 minutes. There you can see one of my feet, a tripod, and in the background the cake. Come on, it's almost ready. It's been about 35 minutes. You can see how much it's grown. So it will soon be time to take it out. After 40 minutes, it will look as amazing as this. Honestly, it looks really good when it's risen. You can see in real time how it's sinking. We poke it. to check that the knife comes out clean, which means it's fully baked, and now we'll wait for it to cool down. It has to sink. Don't be scared, because it's a yogurt cake, creamy, and not a sponge cake. It will take about 3 hours to cool completely. I'm going to loosen the cake from the sides just to make sure it comes out cleanly. I'm going to use what some people around here call a tacaña, a kitchen spatula, a plate for serving, and another one to turn it out. The trick? The ugly one. Now I'll flip it over. There it is. It hasn't fallen, so let's tap the pan a bit until we hear the flop, and we know it's done. A bit more force. I've got it. There it is. The bottom doesn't look great, but we'll flip it over. That's why we have the good plate. There it is. Come on.
Rirras.
Here's the cake. You can see how amazing it looks. And now we just have to take it to the table and decorate. Decorate and bring it to the table, or do whatever you prefer. I'll add a few touches with lemon. They go perfectly with yogurt. I'm gonna add it. A tiny bit of chocolate. It goes perfectly with yogurt. And that's it. My fluffy yogurt cake is ready. Ready to serve. Just like that. Who could ask for more? A fantastic cake. Now I'm going to quickly show you the inside. There you go. Secondly, some fritters that are made in 3 minutes. And they only have 3 ingredients. First ingredient, 1 egg. Beat it well like this, until it gets nice and frothy. Let's move on to our second ingredient, 1 yogurt. 150 grams of yogurt, Greek, sweetened, super sweet, super creamy. We just have to add it to the egg and mix it. Let's mix everything well. How long is it going to take? No time at all. 30 seconds. So here we are with a great recipe. We're bringing you today some fritters that we're going to make with very few ingredients, 1 yogurt, 85 grams of flour, and just a little more. They're going to turn out super good. Fluffy, juicy, super easy recipe. Don't miss it. Stay until the end. That way you'll see all the little tricks. I'm going to switch bowls because with these whisks, it'll work much better and be faster. They're creamier than regular yogurts. If you don't have Greek yogurt, don't worry. You can add regular yogurt and a tablespoon of heavy cream. It'll turn out just as tasty. And as for the sugar, if your yogurts aren't sweetened, don't worry. You just need to add a tablespoon of sugar to the mixture. They'll turn out just as good. Well, our mixture is ready, so let's move on to the flour. You can use self-rising flour. If you don't have it, self-rising flour, just use regular flour and a teaspoon of baking powder. Baking powder. And that's it. Baking powder. Mix it all well. And here you go. You've just made your own self-rising flour. Let's go. We're going to add it little by little. It's 85 grams of self-rising flour. Here we go. Spoonful by spoonful. 1, 2, 3, and 4 to start. We stir, so it blends together. Like this. Little by little. See how the mixture thickens. And this way, we'll easily make some fritters. Super quick to prepare. You see, in less than 3 minutes, everything will be ready. And super tasty. Come on. I'm going to add about a third more of the flour. I stir. These whisks work really well for this task. Look, it's already getting as creamy as I need it. And we have very little left. With 1 container of yogurt, we can make 10 big fritters. If you want more, just multiply. You know, up to infinity. Like if you want to make them for the whole city. Come on, the rest of the flour. Throw it all in. I add it in, and I'll have the dough. You see how it's gotten thicker, but it's still creamy and manageable. Here I go. Let's see if you can see it clearly. A little trick. Always go around the edge of your bowl. Everything gets mixed in. This is how we want it. It looks really good. We're going to the stove. Quite a bit of oil. In my case, sunflower oil or light olive oil. We'll wait for the oil to heat up. And what we want is, this is the mixture. It's elastic. It's creamy. And we can use a spoon. Fill it up like this, really stuffed. And this is what we're going to pour into our pan. Make sure it's boiling when we put in our mixture. You can already see it bubbling. That means the oil is just right. Here we go. Once they start frying, they don't stick together, so we can put in a bunch. And here goes another one. A heaping spoonful. And there you have it, ready. Well, the first batch of fritters is on the stove. They take very little time, about 10 to 15 seconds on each side. So I'll take this chance to quickly tell you that if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. You just have to hit the little red button down below, right next to the bell. Turn it on and you'll get notified every time I upload a video, at least 3 times a week. And it really helps me out. Go ahead, it's all free. I'm running off now. As soon as you see that they start to turn golden, flip them over. That's how we want them. Super golden. They look amazing. Don't tell me this recipe hasn't been super easy, and at the end I'm going to give it that special touch. Stay until the end so you can see a fantastic finish. Super simple. Really traditional. That will take your fritters to another level. Look, there they are. Nice and round. So pretty. There you go.
En cuanto estén a un papel secante.
So they lose some of the oil. And in this oil, of course, I'm going to keep making fritters. And like that, one after another, until we're done. With all the dough we just made. You see, it was just 1 egg. 1 yogurt. And flour. A little trick. 85 grams of flour. That's about what fits in a yogurt container. In the yogurt cup, nice and clean, fill it twice with flour, and that's it. Now you have it measured. And now I'll show you the final trick. Sugar. Plenty. Let it soak well. 3 tablespoons. What you don't use, you can use for coffee. It's fine. And ground cinnamon. In this case, a lot of cinnamon. A full teaspoon. What for? Well, to give your fritters an amazing aroma. There they are. And once we bring them to the table, they'll be exquisite. They'll fight over them, even more than they do at Christmas over the prawns. Here we go. A little spin. You see what a simple dessert this is, and how well it'll come in handy at this time of year. For Holy Week, a typical Holy Week dessert. There you go. There you have it. We coat it well with this mixture of sugar and cinnamon, and that's it. And just like that, one by one, we set them aside. And right away, done. Well, as soon as you have a plate as nice as this one, to the table, there you have them. Amazing. Some fluffy fritters, juicy, well-cooked, nicely golden brown, and full of flavor. Made with just 3 ingredients. Who can beat that?
Fritters.
Don't miss it. I'll open one so you can see inside. This one right here. And there you go. Wow. It's saying, eat me. You have to make this beauty. You'll leave your guests speechless. Everyone likes this. Cheap and super delicious. The final touch, a yogurt and honey cake that you make with just 4 ingredients. Look how amazing it looks. You can't miss this recipe. It turns out sweet, creamy, incredible. Good morning, I'm VT. This is La Cocina de la Abuela, and today we're making another super easy dessert. Touch of honey. Super simple. 4 ingredients. It's gonna turn out amazing. Let's get started. Let's go over the ingredients. 700 grams of yogurt. Plain yogurt. 100 grams of honey. 4 eggs. And 70 grams of flour. That's all. As always, I've also listed the ingredients in detail below in the description box. And if not, you already know. Grab a pen and paper and copy them straight from the screen. They're right there, also in cups to make it even easier. Let's start. First step.
Simplemente mezclamos.
All this yogurt, in my case, it's plain yogurt. Greek style, so it turns out creamier. You can use regular plain yogurts and add a splash of cream. It'll be fantastic. Just as creamy as if you used Greek style yogurt. We're gonna add to this yogurt the flour. Of course, you can use gluten-free flour or any other kind of flour. We add it little by little with the spatula until it's pretty well mixed in. Let's switch to a whisk. And we're gonna stir really, really well until there are no lumps left. Let's give it a good whisk. This will take us a couple of minutes. I've almost got it. And as soon as you have it, next ingredient, the eggs.
Adentro.
We're going to add these 4 eggs. They're size L, which means they're large. If you have smaller eggs, you can add 5. That's fine. We stir and mix it in. Let's give it a good whisk. Come on. Use that wrist. And we'll have this step ready right away. It's going to be very quick because the cream doesn't have any lumps anymore, thanks to the fact that we whipped it before with these whisks. Of course, you can also do it with electric beaters, and you'll finish even faster. Time for the honey. It had to be, since we're out of ingredients. There it is, inside. With 100 ml of honey, mine turned out fantastic, plenty sweet. If you like it extremely sweet, you can add a little more. And if you don't like honey, I'll tell you that this recipe also works with sugar. With 100 grams of sugar, although I prefer it with honey. Make it without added sugars, with natural honey, which tastes much better. We stir until it's fully combined. And we've finished the hard part. Let's move on to the pan. What are we gonna do? We're going to grease it with a bit of butter, so that unmolding is easier, and so it won't stick. There we go. And once we have it, we add our mixture inside. There it is. Inside. I'm going to use it. A kitchen spatula. Some people call it a stingy spatula. They also call it miserly. There must be a reason. Look, nothing's left. Everything's still in the pan. Now I'm going to give it a few little taps. There. So there won't be any bubbles, and our mixture will be more compact. There it is. Into the oven it goes. Let's go. Preheat the oven to 170 degrees. As soon as the oven reaches temperature, quick and easy, in it goes. We put our cake in, and we wait 60 minutes. Until it's ready. Once the time is up, we take it out. It will have puffed up like this, but don't worry because it'll settle down. It should jiggle. Look, it moves.
Se mueve.
I'm gonna give it a little tap so you can see it clearly. It's fine if it moves. That's how it should be. I'm gonna use a paring knife. You can also do it with a skewer. Push it all the way through to check if it comes out clean, which means the inside is well cooked. That's it. We'll let it cool before removing it from the mold. I've put it in the fridge. I've waited a couple of hours, but even with 60 minutes of waiting, that'll be enough. There it is. It's settled completely. You can see how moist it is. Now I'll remove it from the mold. Out. It looks amazing. There it is. Check out that side. It looks great. Similar to the ones on cheesecakes. And we're going to give it a touch of flavor, color, and shine. With honey. Fresh honey. We add a little bit, 1 or 2 tablespoons at most. We don't need too much sweetness. It's more for appearance, to make it look nicer and shinier. So just drizzle it in a few circles. And our dessert is ready. You can't tell me that wasn't super easy. Just 4 simple ingredients. And this cake is ready. It looks amazing. Let's get it to the table. No sugar. 4 ingredients. And this yogurt cake. Or an amazing honey cake on your table. Strings. Who could ask for more? Let's cut into it. I want you to see the inside. As you can see, it cuts easily. Because it's creamy. Here we go. Let's see if we're good with the spatula. And if we can get it out. As easy as I imagine. Here I go. Here I go. I'm going. Here you go. Awesome. It looks amazing. You have to make this recipe. Well, that's it for today's show. My favorite recipe is the fritters. They turn out amazing. Let me know yours in the comments. I read them all. Thanks for coming. Love you all. See you in the next video. Bye.